Welcome to Kicked, the smartest way to run your senior rugby league team on match day. If you're coaching under 13s and up, this is where Kicked steps up a level too. In this walkthrough, we'll set up a 13-a-side team, run a full game from kickoff to final whistle, and most importantly, show you the advanced match stats that can give your side a real edge, live possession, your tackle count, and set completion broken down into good ball and yardage sets. By the end, you'll know how to read these numbers at halftime to change the game in the second half, and how your players can jump onto their own phones after the match to dig into their own stats and see how they stacked up against the rest of the team. Let's get started. A quick note before we start. If your club has gifted you a club subscription, most of your team setup will already be done for you. Your team name, age group, sport, and players will be there waiting when you open Kicked. You can skip straight to checking everything looks right. If not, let's set your team up from scratch. You'll pick your team name, choose Rugby League as your sport, and select your age group, under 13s, under 14s, all the way up to opens. Then add your players one by one. Just tap Add Player and pop in their name and shirt number. Choose your match format from the format buttons. The senior game is played in halves. Pick the half length that matches your local league. Senior Rugby League uses planned interchanges rather than a rotation timer. You map out your subs ahead of time on the interchange tab, and Kicked alerts you at the minute each one is due. We'll come back to that. Your side gets up to 10 interchanges a match, or 8 at opens. You can tick the days your team trains so you can take attendance during the week. There's also a voting toggle for player of the match. At senior level, most coaches leave it off and keep the call to themselves, but it's there if you want it. One thing you won't need to set up at this level, there are no vests and no rotation timer. From under 13s, the advanced stats are switched on automatically. That's the senior game. This is one of the best parts of running a senior side in Kicked. Your players can connect to the team on their own phones. To get them in, share your team's join code. You'll find it on your team screen with a Share Join Link button. Drop the link into your team's group chat. It's the same code your supporters use. Players and supporters all join the same way. Once they're in, they can follow the game live. And the real payoff comes after the final whistle. Because this is a senior team, every player who's joined can open the app and see the full match stats on their own phone. Their own hit-ups, tackles, line breaks, and minutes, right alongside their teammates. We'll see exactly what that looks like at the end of the walkthrough. It turns the stat sheet into something the whole team actually engages with. And a bit of friendly competition for the top of the tackle count never hurt anyone. A quick note on voting. At senior level, most coaches keep the player of the match call to themselves, so the supporter vote is usually switched off. That's a single toggle on the season screen. Set it however suits your team. And if you've got an assistant coach, there's a separate code to share with them too, so they can help run the game from their own device. Need a fill-in for the day? Tap Add Guest Player to pop someone into the team just for this game. Now we're on the home screen. This is where everything starts. From here you can jump into setting up your next game. Tap Start Game when you're ready. There's also a training attendance button so you can keep a quick tally of who's turning up during the week. Before kickoff, let's get the field ready. At under 13s and up, Kicked shows the full 13-a-side rugby league field, the official senior layout. Fullback at the back, left wing, left centre, and right wing across the next line. 5/8 and halfback in the middle, your front row, prop, hooker, prop. Then 2 second row forwards and a lock. Tap any position to assign a player, or hit autofill to populate everything in one go. Now the interchanges. Tap the interchange tab to plan your bench rotations. Add a planned interchange, set the minute with the slider, and pick who's coming off and who's going on. When the match clock reaches that minute, Kicked pops up an alert reminding you to make the swap. You can plan up to 10 or 8 at opens, and you can always sub on the fly during the game as well. If any players didn't show today, mark them as absent so they're left out of your bench list. One handy tip before kickoff, turn on game day mode from the home screen. It pushes your screen brightness to full so it's easy to read in the sun, and stops your device going to sleep mid-game. Leave it running the whole match if you can. But if it does drop off, just resume the game when you're back in the app. When everyone's set, tap Start Game, allow notifications, and you're off. Here's the live game screen. And this is where the senior version really comes alive. At the very top, you've got the period, H1 or H2, the running score, with us as your team and them as the other side, and the match timer. Just below that is the part juniors don't get, the possession banner. It's a simple switch showing who has the ball right now. A green us side and a blue them side. Whichever side is lit is the team in possession. Tap set on either side any time you need to correct it. Say there's a turnover the app didn't catch, and underneath the banner when you have the ball, you'll see the tackle counter. Tackle 1, tackle 2, all the way up. On the last tackle it turns gold and reads last tackle, so you always know where your set is up to at a glance. Below all that is the green field with your 13 positions and the bench along the bottom. Here's how you drive those numbers. Most of your work is 2 buttons, hit up and tackle. These are the high volume ones, so kicked lets you pin them. Tap, hit up once and a little pin appears. Now you can tap player after player as they take their carries and the tackle counter ticks up with each one. Tap the button again to unpin it. The tackle button works the same way for your defense when they have the ball. Every other stat, line break, try assist, error, penalty conceded, works the normal way. Tap the stat, tap the player, done. When your team scores a try, tap the green us button, then tap the player who scored 4 points logged against that player. You can record conversions, penalty goals, and field goals from the stat panel too. If the other team scores, tap the blue them button and pick what they got. And you can log a them error or them penalty conceded as well. When they cough it up, that's how your side wins the ball back, and the possession banner flips to you automatically. Made a mistake? There's an undo for the last action. And because kicked rebuilds the whole picture from your log, your possession, tackle count, and sets all stay correct after an undo. This is the feature that sets the senior game apart, so let's slow down here. Every set your team completes gets logged. 6 tackles, then a kick, a try, an error, or a handover. But not all sets are equal, and kicked lets you say so. On a tablet right next to the tackle counter, you'll see a 2-way switch, yardage or good ball. A yardage set is the grind. You're deep in your own half, just trying to get up the field and earn good field position. That's the default, so most sets stay as yardage. A good ball set is the one that counts. You're in attacking range with a real chance to score. Tap good ball when your side has worked into that position, and kick tags the set as one you should be finishing. Why does this matter? Because completing a yardage set just means a tidy kick to move them back. But completing a good ball set should mean points. Splitting the two tells you whether your team is converting its real opportunities, not just hiding the misses inside an overall number. That's the difference between we had plenty of ball and we actually did something with it. When the half is over, tap finish half. And this is the moment the advanced stats pay off. The halftime card shows your set completion. Up top, the big completion percent. That's the share of your sets that you finish properly instead of coughing them up. Underneath, it's split 3 ways. Your yardage completion, your good ball completion, and your overall. Green is strong, amber is work to do, red is a rough half. Here's how to use it on the sideline. If your overall completion is low, your team is leaking possession. Tighten up the basics, value the ball. But the one to watch is good ball. If you had plenty of good ball sets but your good ball completion is red, you're getting into position and not finishing. That's a halftime message about composure in the opposition's 20, not effort. And if yardage is strong but good ball is weak, your forwards are doing their job and your finish needs the work. Tap the card to open the set breakdown. Every set is laid out in order. You can see the tackle by tackle story of each one, whether it ended in a try, a kick, an error, or a penalty, and each one is tagged yardage or good ball. A good ball set you didn't finish is flagged in red, so the sets that hurt you jump straight off the screen. This is gold for a halftime chat. You can point at the exact sets that got away. Make your interchanges for the second half right here, then tap Start Second Half and put the plan into action. Your planned interchanges will alert you at the minute you set. Tap to accept, and the swap is made, counting towards your interchange limit. To sub on the fly, just tap the player on the field you want to bring off, then tap the bench player you want on. Kick tracks everyone's minutes for you and counts the interchange. The on-field counter shows how many of your 10 or 8 it opens you've used. If a player gets a knock, press and hold their name on the field. You'll get the option to mark them as injured. This takes them out of your rotation so they won't be picked to come back on. The bench lights up amber. Just tap the player you want to take their spot and they're on. An injury swap counts against your interchange limit, the same as a normal one. So kicked will tell you if you've run out. When the injured player's right to go again, tap their name in the injured list and choose Mark OK. They're back on the bench and ready. The second half runs exactly the same way. Possession tracking, tackle counter, good ball and yardage sets, your interchanges firing at their planned minutes, and the score updating as you log it. Now you're playing with information. You've seen your completion numbers at the break, you've made your adjustments, and you can watch the second half story build in real time. When the match is done, tap Finish Half to wrap up play. As coach, you get 2 picks, your player of the match and a runner-up. Tap them in, and they're locked, and they're revealed on the results screen for the post-match huddle. At senior level, most coaches keep this call to themselves. But if you've left the supporter vote on, those votes come in through their phones and you finish with the deciding say. Your votes carry the most weight either way. When you're done, tap End Game. Kick takes you to the game results screen and reveals your player of the match and runner-up, perfect for the post-match huddle. Above that, you'll see the full game completion percent card, the same yardage, good ball and overall split you saw at halftime, now across the whole match, and tap through to the complete set breakdown for every set you played. Below that, the match stats cards rank your top performers in each category, your biggest hit-up workers, your tacklers, your line breaks, try assists, and so on. And here's the part your players will love. This same results screen is on every connected player's phone. The moment the game ends, they can open Kicked and see exactly how the match broke down, their own hit-up and tackle counts, their line breaks, sitting right next to everyone else's in the team. No waiting for you to read it out, no spreadsheet. They scroll the match stats, find their own name, and see straight away whether they top the tackle count or where they've got work to do. Over on the Stats tab, it goes further. Every player can see the season totals building up game after game for the whole team. It's the kind of self-analysis that used to be reserved for the top grades, now in every player's pocket. Players comparing their numbers and chasing the top of the list is exactly the kind of competition that lifts a whole team. And that's Kicked for Senior Rugby League, under 13s all the way to Opens. Set your lineup, plan your interchanges, log the play with 2 pinned buttons, and let the possession, tackle, and set completion numbers do the rest. Read them at halftime, make your call, and coach with the kind of detail the big teams use. Then let your players pull up the results on their own phones and own their performance. Thanks for watching. See you on the sideline.